Like, start ranting.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. Being an internet software guy and entrepreneur, let me start my rant by saying that I'm quite honored to be a speaker in this lineup at all. So, why do I and many others have to spend our spare time maintaining pandemic data collections and models? In Germany, I see a fundamental disconnection between science and policy. It's combined with a broad lack of understanding of the very basic fundamentals of exponential growth as well as scientific thinking. I believe that this lack of scientific understanding is the reason that our politicians have failed to empower and promote a trustworthy, independent, well-funded institution that provides reliable, daily updated data and scenario-based model calculations for the near and medium future, and that is respected by politicians and citizens as well for their decisions. Instead, politicians constantly ignore recommendations and data from the Robert Koch Institute, which is killing its trustworthiness. The fact is that I cannot even count the number of occasions when politicians decided exactly the opposite of what should have been decided. For example, easing restrictions while daily infections were already growing. This situation has created a vacuum of publicly available pandemic understanding that has been filled up by amateurs and professionals who publish lots of excellent data on a volunteer basis. Welcome to my Twitter bubble. I've been publishing scenarios of my amateur models since March 2020. I know from the feedback that I have received that a lot of people, including official institutions, Rathäuser, hospitals, and even Gesundheitsämter, rely on my data for their planning of the next weeks because there is no other suitable data source available and accessible for them. I think we can all agree that this is a ridiculous situation. Either the health authorities on various levels of the government do not work with or do not have any models for their scope of responsibility, or they don't share it to the government levels below and the public. Both theories are not worthy of a modern democracy in one of the most developed countries in the world. Now at an outrageous test positive rate of about 12%, which means we are not nearly testing enough. It's almost like we don't want to know what's going on. One must come to the conclusion we are almost intentionally driving blind through this pandemic. No wonder that we again and again keep hearing sentences like, nobody expected this. With my models, I try to provide two views. I try to give my best possible prediction for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and I share scenarios which show the effects of specific changes in behavior and policy over a few months to provide data for decisions. As usual, when working with models, I have published good and bad predictions that turned out to be more or less correct. But at least this data is better than estimating, guessing, or hoping. Look at the left graph. Since June, the actual incidence has always remained inside my 6 weeks prediction range, which is shown in gray. For 2 to 3 weeks into the future, almost all my predictions were plus minus 50% correct. The graph on the right shows that my model can quite accurately also predict the number of patients and death, as well as breakthrough infections, always compared with the official data from the Robert Koch Institute. If an amateur can reach this accuracy in his spare time, imagine what a team of professionals working full-time could achieve. But our leadership must want this to happen. My model and also other models predict a massive wave for the already weakened hospitals in Germany in the next 3 to 6 weeks. And again, we are today in the situation that politicians decide the very opposite of what needs to be done. Or they don't decide at all. They refuse to do their job. If the current development goes on unmitigated, we will have more ITS patients in early December than in any other wave before, according to my model, and as well as a few other amateur models. And this number will continue to grow exponentially if we don't quickly make drastic improvements to our restrictions. Our very poor vaccination rate and the waning immunity combined with the high contagiousness of Delta and its mutants make restrictions necessary for this winter. Period. So my main points are, a massive winter wave is coming. We need to act now. Second, before making decisions, listen to science and models. Ignoring them is stupid. Third, empower and fund professionals to do this so I and all the other volunteers can get back to our other hobbies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dirk. Many of us probably can see themselves in renting, having to justify it with our families day by day why we spend so much extra time on this.